Okay, Peter, so here's Sean from last night. Wanted to put a comparison video up of one of his earlier ones that he did and then the later one. The one on the right is the later one. And one of the last pitches I videoed, and the one on the left was just a few minutes before. And this, we're just working on, lower body power, back leg drive, back leg drive. He's just, he's functionally weak back there. And I can even tell um, during our warm-ups. He just doesn't have the control of his body yet, but he does have so much potential because of all the components that come together nicely for him. He's not throwing very hard yet, but he has the movements of of a high velocity pitcher if he can get powered over the next couple of years, if this is the road he wants to take and pursue this. I synced him up here at handbrake, so he's moving at the exact same time. The one on the right is the video where he uses a little bit more leg drive. He gets a little bit out further with his stride. But let's just take a look. So we'll get him out. And there's a few differences here that I want to show you. Now remember, what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to get him to eliminate counter-rotating too much. It's okay to counter-rotate because it keeps the hips closed off and the front leg closed off from opening, but he doesn't have an issue with that. He stays closed anyway. I mean, if he wants to counter-rotate a little bit, it's fine, but he just has too many extra movements going on. But this whole drill is just designed to eliminate anything that's extra that's gonna, either slow him down or get his body into the wrong position. And I really like the right video a little bit better because, well, first of all, in both videos, he shifts his weight late. Watch how he breaks his hands first, and he hasn't even gotten the body moving. He's got to remember that when he does a drill like this week, that he moves his body first, and then he breaks his hands. I mean, it happens kind of quick, but he just has the order wrong, and he doesn't make this mistake when he's pitching with the leg lift. It's just he needs to keep it consistent. He doesn't have to think about getting the arms going until after he's shifted his weight. So right about here is where he should probably break his hands, and he's already broken. But the reason why I like the right video more is because look at his throwing arm, how straight it is and how relaxed. And over here, he has this bend. And if you watch the left video, watch how he yanks the elbow up. Look at how high his elbow is here compared to this elbow. And look at where his hand is, and look at where his hand is. He's just in a much better arm path in the right video. It still gets a little high, but he gets, more horizontal abduction behind the back, which is very key for timing hip and shoulder separation, which is, linked to high velocity. So again, the way he relaxes the throwing arm, he drops it so that it's straight down and it's not angled off. That is actually a really good position, and then he swings it up and pulls the elbow back behind the body, which is good. Now, interestingly, in the left video, if we get him up to where his arms are pretty much about the same there, it looks like he's striding further in the left video because he looks like his front foot is further out and the angle here is a little bit lower than the angle here. But that's because he's driving with more force earlier. In the second video over here, it seems like he waits a little bit longer to stride out and push. Okay, it's not too much longer. It might be just a little bit longer. Anyhow, let's just take a look at the arrows. I'll just draw an arrow here. I'll draw a line up to where his height is. Where is his height? All right, he's about that tall. And I'm going to draw a comparison. See how long his stride length is. Yeah, the arrow down here is definitely a lot shorter than this one. And it's probably pretty much the same in this video too. Draw a line out, get him out to landing. Up to his toe there more. It's pretty much, it looks like it's a little bit longer. on the right-hand side. It's very, very close, but the right video, again, is, I mean, take a look at his, okay, so when he lands his front foot, look at the difference in his body position here. Look at the posture in his chest. Look at how we lost his front shoulder here in this video. And we can still see it here. So he's already, I mean, he's down in both videos. And look at how much rotation he has already here. He's already starting to get out. So later rotation means more velocity, so he's going to rotate that body later. He does get a little bit of hip and shoulder separation there because his hips are starting to move and his shoulder is still back, which is great. But look at how much sooner he gets into external rotation here. Look at how much quicker he is to release the, to get into his throwing position. And this one, he's really building more power, only because he had a little bit of a longer stride. I mean, I have him synced up perfectly. I mean, look at this movement. So he's actually generating a lot more force here. You can tell because his knee is really directly over his heel, and his knee isn't as much over his heel in this one. And eventually we want to get that foot out there so that the angle of his heel to foot is a lot less than 77. We want to get that out to, like, 60, high 50s. Over here is the same thing. Like, his angle is just very high. He's 78. Where was he over here? 75. Yeah, so he has a better leg angle here. It's still too tall. I mean, you can't convert forces with the leg that tall. It's just not. It's not going to happen. It's too vertical is what I mean. He needs to be more linear. So that knee needs to be where that arrow is, and his foot would probably need to be out here. And as he gets powerful with his stride, he'll get there. But again, notice how late he rotates, which means he puts more load on the arm. And I love the way his chest thrusts out over his knee. His arm lays back beautifully into full external rotation, and then he pronates up there nicely. He comes down, but you see how straight-legged he is? He's very straight-legged. That's not a problem. It's just a problem when you have a short stride. When we elongate that stride, he'll be able to power that movement. I mean, take a look at his front knee. Watch how his front knee pushes back. That's excellent for more velocity. If we can get that foot out here more, he'll have more flex in that knee, and he'll have more ability to push back and to even get more velocity. So again, he's got great movements. He just doesn't have the power yet. So if he powers out of this stride more and he lands that foot out here, he'll lower his center of gravity. And with that, he'll explode the hips open faster. And then the arm will lay back like it always does. The chest will come flying forward. And then the arm will come flying forward after that. So, all just with more power. I mean, he's doing all this now. He's just doing it with very low power, very little power. So keep having him do some of those vertical jumps that we did, the frog jumps, the pogo jumps, the chair routine. We'll start getting him on some weights so he can squat a little bit more and do some explosive movements, moving some heavier weight to strengthen up his legs. Because he's got great abilities here. These are great movements that you don't see in everybody. I mean, look at that chest thrust. Look at that. Look at how far out his chest is, leading, pulling the arm through. His arm's in a great position to deliver the ball. He's just doing it at a very low speed. All right, we convert this guy into more of an elite athlete, into more of a power athlete as he gets more coordinated and he finishes growing. He's going to be something to mess with. All right, hope that helps you out.